Music Interview Corner.
Hello from the Music Interview Corner, guys. I have something really special for you. I have KAMELOT tonight, and here's Tommy. Hi, Tommy.
Hey, Katie, how's it going?
Good. I'm so happy that we get to talk tonight.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So, your 14th studio album, Dark Asylum, is going to be released on August 28th. And the whole story is set in RavenHill Asylum. And
Mhm.
it is an asylum that has been a cathedral in the past. And I wanted to ask, why is it important that the place has a religious past? And what does turning a cathedral into an asylum add to the story?
I think we all, everyone in the band kind of likes that imagery, the spiritual imagery in a way, without, you know, being, um, defining what kind of spirituality it is. More so that it's a sacred place, and also all cathedrals have such cool, uh, ornate details and Gothic yeah, imagery, So our music just it lends itself really to this kind of background or backdrop in a way, I think. Dark and moody and has gives you a certain vibe and we always I know Thomas is always drawn to the Victorian kind of era, with that kind of uh, look to things and it fits the music really well, I think.
Oh, yeah, it does, definitely. And when you created the album, did you think of Ravenhill as like a physical, real location, or maybe like a psychological landscape or somebody's mind or something else?
Yeah, that's a good question. For sure, the whole idea is that Ravenhill Asylum, I mean, be it or not a real place, but it's definitely, encapsulates how it is to be stuck in your own mind, or how we get stuck in our own fears and our own layers of stuff, and that's what Ravenhill Asylum is. Like, there's characters in the story, there's different rooms and different halls and different, hidden chambers that you get to visit, and but it's really is a figment of the imagination in a way, right? Um, you could see it as a real place as well. I mean, that's kind of how the story is laid out, but we wanted to portray this feeling that you're stuck in your own darkness and that there is a way out, and maybe you don't need to reach out for the salvation. Maybe you can just peel the layers off and find peace within yourself, and uh, kind of tune into the love and the light and the peace that we all are made of in a way.
And when you think of the track list of the album, do you think like it could also be the architecture of Ravenhill, like different rooms and corridors that the listener has to pass through?
Right, totally. I mean, it's a journey, and I'm not gonna let it be unsaid if it's all in one person's mind or if it's, there's real characters in there. It's up to you as a listener to kind of, you know, determine for yourself. But yes, it is a journey, and through the darkness, you got to go through the darkness and the dark corridors and open every door to eventually find your way out. Yeah,
So like, yeah, it's like psychological transformation.
exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what the two songs uh, that we have already out, released. They are kind of overarching songs, like overarching theme of what we're trying to say. So, the welcome to the Dark Asylum is kind of, you set the stage by listening to Ashen World,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like you've reached a point of you need to do something, and you need to, you know, stand your ground and find a way out of this darkness. And then in Godlike Alchemy, that was the second single, uh, we kind of wanted to portray how that transformation might be happening. So it's like, if you read the lyrics or listen to the lyrics for Godlike Alchemy, it's all about just peeling the layers off, and maybe you do have everything you need already to find salvation. That you don't have to ask for permission for a higher power, or reach for help external help, maybe you can just, instead of adding things, subtract things from yourself and find the core, which is love and light, and what everyone is made out of this. And that's where we all come from, right? So it depends on what your beliefs are, but that's kind of what we wanted to say with Godlike Alchemy. So it's two overarching themes of the album. That's why we also wanted to do these two songs as singles. But then we, as you know, we get to visit all these rooms and these characters, and it's a different layer of the story.
And so could we say like Godlike Alchemy is also becoming something else through suffering in a way?
Through suffering, I don't believe, personally, I don't believe suffering is necessary. I think that's a construct. I think when you act in flow with the universe, when you act in flow with yourself and do what you're passionate about, for example, you will not look at hard work as suffering. You will, it takes work to transform. You got to do something. But I wanna kind of try and get away from that. We have to suffer, because that's something I've been, struggling with basically my whole career, is that every time I create something, I have to suffer first. But it's all a reframing in your mind. Maybe you just have to go with the flow, and work towards your passion, and work to not have the fears take over, and reframe the whole work situation or life situation in a way that you don't have to suffer. It's not a price after suffering to be relieved and to be peaceful. It's something that you can already be if you're in line with yourself.
So it's fair to say that you're very spiritual.
I think so, and I think most people are very spiritual. I think it just comes down to how you frame it. Like what do you call the light or love or God, or it's source, or it's all different for everybody, but I think it's the same fundamental energies in a way, no matter how you label it.
Do you also believe like in mind over matter and the law of attraction?
I love it. Yeah, that's what we try. I try to think myself. I do. The law of attraction, abundance, all of those things. Try to practice that every day.
Now, when I look at your career, I think it works.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, it is true. What you think about materializes in a way, I think. So if you think more thoughts of lack and scarcity, then you're going to see evidence of that in your life. And I mean, not to say that I don't have that, but I try my best to just think of what I do want in life, out of life, and go for the things I'm passionate about. Not always easy, but I try.
We can't see that now, but my vision board is hanging right above my desk, so I
Awesome.
can also visualize my goals. Yeah.
That is great. That is an awesome way to do it, I think.
And is the song Sanctuary also connected to this philosophy?
Yeah. Yes. And also that's another thing that, why are we really singing about sanctuary as a physical place, somewhere you can feel safe, or is it just going back to your core, to be okay with who you are in yourself?
Cassandra's Disease is also a song that I find very interesting, because in Greek mythology, I mean, a lot of our viewers know that probably, but Cassandra is cursed that she can see the truth, but nobody believes her. What does it mean for your album? Because I feel your album is a place where reality and truth are already kind of unstable.
Right. It's a good question. That's most of that song is made by Oliver, and he reads a lot. And I haven't picked his brain on exactly why he chose Cassandra, but that's probably true. That's probably one of the reasons he picked that name, because of the story. And I love that song too, because it's so different in a way. It's very psychological and very uneasy, and almost in a dark theatrical kind of way. like you're watching a play and someone is losing their mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, isn't that the case though? Like you feel like you're in this darkness, and you have a feeling of what you know it's your truth, but it's not the truth for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So in the end, it's all subjective what the truth is.
Mm-hmm. And something that is not subjective but very objective is that on Dark Asylum you have a very impressive guest list. You have Ignacia Fernández, for example, and Clémentine Delauney and Tobias Sammet. And in Sanctuary, we can hear you, Ignacia, and Clémentine in the same song. How is it?
Yes.
Do you like your voices? Do they represent like different psychological perspectives within the song?
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, you got really great questions and
Thank you.
very thoughtful questions. I like them because I have to think. But I got this question similarly, and I had to think about it for a little bit. But the layers of that song, there's a lot of layers, like on top of each other, and it is to. But when you start writing something, you add stuff, layers to get an emotion, to
Mhm,
get some kind of emotion, to enhance the emotion you want to hear. And then when we listen to the demo, we felt we needed to have different voices representing different characters of the mind. Yeah, so it will be like the soft female contra my voice, but plain, but also layers of Ignacia's harsh vocals and the backing vocals. So it gets this layering, like a layered cake almost, that you get all the aspects of the mind that's going on in a way.
mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
really cool. It's a cool question.
Thank you. I love the song. I love this album and the whole concept. It's
Oh,
yeah, it's
thank you.
very fascinating. Um,
Oh,
and you worked with Sascha Paeth as producer again, like you've been working with him for a very long time. So at this point, is Sascha not only the producer, but also the person who's allowed to say, guys, this song does not need another choir, orchestra, or exploding cathedral?
yeah, definitely. I mean, he's definitely the sixth member of the band at this point. I mean, such an integral part of the sound and the makeup of the band's genetics in a way. So, and a very good friend. So I love him dearly, and just a musical powerhouse. That you might not always agree with his way or my way, but with Sascha, it's always coming from a musical point. It's always gonna be, if we went with Sascha's suggestion, it's always gonna be good.
Mhm,
It's just a matter of, is it the taste we want or not? But as a musician, there's no one better, basically, I think. And the stuff that he has been a part of during the years, it's amazing, and it's great to have him on board for sure.
And you also have Tobias Sammet on board. In one of my
Yeah,
favorite songs, I really love One Last Masquerade. And I feel
cool.
Tobias has a voice that is very distinct and brings a very distinct personality to a song. What did he bring to the song that you couldn't have achieved with another singer?
Well, it was written for him because I knew we had a couple more songs to record, and that was one of the songs I still hadn't written
Hmm.
vocals and lyrics for. And when I learned that he was going to be a part of the song, first of all, I was thrilled because I know he doesn't do a lot of guest appearances. So I took it as a sign of affection from him. But I try to imagine his voice, and as you know, what he does in Avantasia, it's very theatrical and very, like you said,
Hmm.
characteristic. He can really bring out the edge and the character of a vocal. And since I've been touring with Avantasia for a little bit now, I kind of had the chance to study his ways, and I try to do my best to make the song into a duet. I mean, he's in this case um, playing he a character that has a multiple personality disorder.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is perfect for him, right?
Yes.
So I just told him, you can go crazy. can just do whatever you want. And here's the guide and the lyrics. And he made it his own, because you have to, if you're a master of your craft, you have to, put yourself in there. And so he did, and I thought it turned out much better. And now I can listen to the song and kind of be a fan, be a fan of him and what he did, and just be happy that we got to sing together on a track again.
Mm-hmm. And if Tobias Sammet appears in your Victorian asylum, should we assume that he's a patient, a doctor, or somehow the person who owns the place?
If he appears in the Dark Asylum, he is going to be in a straitjacket in a cell somewhere in the dungeon.
Okay, cool. If I interview Avantasia, I have to ask him about that as well, I think.
All right.
Another question would be if you and all the other members of Camelot would be committed to RavenHill Asylum, who of you would be able to convince the doctors that they are perfectly sane and have to be released?
Oh, man. I think that Sean would probably just have a beer with them and convince them, maybe a couple beers.
Okay. And who of you would be sane, but would make such a terrible impression that they would keep him there forever?
That would probably be me, maybe. I don't know why, but I get very detail oriented, almost in an autistic kind of way, and it can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse sometimes. You're just zoning in on details until you're in a straitjacket in a dungeon somewhere.
Yeah, maybe you can manifest your way out then.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
I think so.
somehow.
Yeah.
RavenHill looks really like a haunted asylum. So if you would be alone at RavenHill Asylum at 3 a.m. in the morning, what would be the most scary thing to hear? A child laughing, somebody whispering your name, or a really badly played Camelot song?
Oh, dude, I have to say the children laughing. That's never a good sign, at least in a dark asylum. That's creepy stuff. But yeah, I think so. Every movie that I am too scared to watch has kids laughing in it.
Yeah, true. If there's a horror movie with kids, it's also always so scary that I can't watch it.
It's horrible.
Okay, then I have another scary question for you. So, who would survive the longest in a haunted Victorian asylum? So, if Camelot, Avantasia, Visions of Atlantis, and Decessus would be locked in overnight in Ravenhill, and only one band would get out alive the next morning, who gets out?
I gotta be biased and say Camelot because we got Oliver, and he's born in a church like this, I think, somewhere. It's his natural habitat. So I would say we all stick to Oliver, and he will lead us out.
Okay, so you would definitely be loyal to Camelot and not to Avantasia because you would be kind of in both bands.
Yeah, I mean, Avantasia that's a good first runner-up. We'll be toe to toe, but I think we got the ace in Oliver, I think.
Good to know, because I want to see your next concert and your next tour. That's good to know. Your press release says, once you step inside RavenHill, there's no turning back. I find that legally a little bit concerning, but what does a Camelot fan have to do to actually be released from RavenHill?
Well, I think you have to just sit with the message and the lyrics and listen a lot to the album. Hint, hint. And make your own, escape plan, I think. But I think it is, for me, well, it's important that the listener feel like there's a way out, a light at the end of the tunnel, and that all of these crazy thoughts and doubts and fears are just layers that we can peel off and get back to source. Because I feel the world today is so crazy with all the distractions, mental health issues, crazy things happening in the world. That's all fear mongering and fear based, and I think it's all a construct that we are not meant to be in. And I think with a little bit of peace and quiet and a little bit of work, I think we can turn it around for ourselves and make sure the bubble doesn't collapse on us.
And do you think music can help with that? Do you think music can help to see the light and bring people back together?
And I definitely do. I mean, that's why we do this, first and foremost, to try to send people messages, subtle messages, of hope and you can do this and feel that they're not alone. I know that's what I always felt with music. Like it's company without being in somebody's company. It's soothing for the for the heart and for the soul. And I think it's just a universal language. You can speak the music of language even if you don't understand the lyrics. For example, you can understand the music and what the music is trying to say. And I think it's important. I think it's very important, as important as any other, education or that you can have.
And while you're saying these beautiful things, do you want to say something to your fans?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely so excited to come out and play on this new album. I mean, it's always exciting, but no, it's around the corner, right around the corner. We start with the US tour on August, I think it's August 28th, when the album comes out. And we can't wait to see you all, and like always, listen to the songs and sing along, and we'll have a great time. We do what we love, and hopefully that'll resonate with people.
It definitely resonates with me and with everyone else who has heard the singles that are out so far.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this
Thanks,
great
Katie.
interview, Tommy. Thank you so much,
thanks.
and all the best for the tour.
Really great questions. Thank you again. Is it Katie or Katie?
It's Katie. It's different. I mean, I lived also in Finland. It's the Finnish version. It's Kati, Katie, Kati, depending on the country. It's all K, but Kati is the German pronunciation. Yeah.
Right. It's really nice meeting you, and thank you so much.
Music Interviews Corner.